everybody. So in today's episode of Patrick's Toy Reviews, we'll be answering you guys' questions. And I know I look a little odd wearing the same outfit like I did before, but this is a series that this is a video that I'll be answering you guys' questions. So the way how I did is I asked people both on Facebook and YouTube for these questions, but I actually got some decent good questions. So you all probably asking why I'm doing a Q&A video. Well, originally I wanted to do this in honor of the 100th episode of Patrick's Figures. If you guys are wondering, it is a YouTube series that I've been making on my own channel. What I do is I review old figures, both from I unbox newer old figures in my collection. And surprisingly, I got over 100 episodes. So I thought it'd be nice to do a Q&A video, but unfortunately, I had been gone away for a few times. So I didn't actually get a lot of questions. All I got was 2 questions, but I was going to do the Q&A video in honor of the 100th episode. But I decided, you know what, let's just do a Q&A video just for the fun of it. So yeah, so in this folder here is our questions. So I was able to get a few questions on Facebook and on YouTube. If you guys are interested in any questions whatsoever involving me and my Scooby-Doo collection, if any questions about me, my collection, or about my series, let me know in the comments. I mean, I don't mind answering you guys any questions about yourself without even videotaping them. So, I think it's time we just open up the questions. I'm also be showing you guys merchandise in the video because someone did comment a good question. Also, if I do mispronounce any names, I do apologize. I will mention you guys in a post. But so first we got our YouTube questions. So question 1 is from Seen Kid Well 8208, and this is a good question. He says, what do you like to collect besides action figures and Funko Pops with apostrophe S? And so this is actually a pretty good question because a lot of you guys don't know this. I do collect stuff other than action figures and Funko Pops, and I'll show you. Here, let me show you. So yeah, this is actually a few items that I have. Now the first thing I do collect other than Funko Pops is, I don't know if I would count this, but I do have posters. All the stuff you're seeing on the walls here are mostly posters. Well, except for that, I recently just added that recently. It's one of those art things. It's like one of those diamond arts. I just put a frame over that. That's not technically a poster, but this is actually a poster that I recently got last year. This one is considerably my favorite one. I did make a post about it. Supposedly with this poster, it shows every villain from Scooby-Doo Where Are You? From both season 1 and 2. It shows even the location of where every villain was, and even the episode and date came out. These ones over here are from the Bonefish Commission. I do have a little bit of fish stuff. I did mention this before when doing a short where I did mostly fish stuff. If you guys want to see what they look like, here's some. There's actually a set for this poster and that one right there. They're mostly for sets. Actually, it's more of a set of posters because those 2 posters are part of a set. That's what I was trying to say. And if you guys are wondering what do they look like, this is what they look like. They says these are game fishes of Pennsylvania. If you guys don't know this, I live in Pennsylvania, and these are what the posters look like. It shows the images of the fish, and you see right here. These are labeled, each fish is labeled through a jumble of 1 to how many, and it tells you the name of each fish. And the crazy whole thing is about these posters is, I think these are vintage, because the posters that you usually get when you go to a game, like a sportsman show, because I go to sportsman shows a lot, they'll usually give you these posters, and yeah, so these are the posters that they'll give you. These are actually a lot different from these ones because These ones are a lot different from this one, because I can tell you that, because if you look at the Pike, so the Pike section here, you can see that this poster, you see this right here, not like this one, that one is actually not on this poster. So this one is older than this one. But yeah, if you guys, and if you're wondering, this is supposed to be an amber river pike. So this fish is a lot different from this one. Yeah, so this is probably a newer poster compared to these ones. But I would like to try to get a full set of these. This one's also the kind of the same thing. It just shows the images of the fish, the names, and numbers to tell like what fish is like. For example, number one image. So this is number one. Number one says largemouth bass. That's a largemouth bass. You can't kind of see it, but let me tilt the camera. Yeah, that's a largemouth bass. Number 4 is a muskie. So this just shows like this, for example, this fish right here. It goes to number 10. Number 10 is a walleye. So this is a walleye. But yeah, that is pretty much it. There is some other stuff I do collect over here. And don't mind the stuff. I am rearranging a little bit. You see, I got plushies. Oh yeah, that's also another thing I do. Also forgot to mention, the other thing I do collect are plushies. You can kind of see I have mostly Scooby-Doo. You can also kind of see it right in here that I got this jumbo thing. Yeah, someone actually gave me this giant Scooby-Doo plushie. I think it's the giant one from the carnival. And don't worry, I do have a plushie in here that was actually from a carnival. I think it's this one. I think it's this one, because I did post a photo of me winning a Scooby-Doo plushie from a carnival in South Carolina. But yeah, if you guys want to see the other stuff I have Hot Wheels in here. This container, we have Hot Wheels. In this container, we have Happy Meal toys. And you might recognize these ones. Because these came out last year. And I know you guys probably remembered, I don't know if you guys remember these ones. These are the pop-up mysteries. I did make a video on both the Happy Meal toys and the pop-up mysteries. And I think and I don't know if I count this, but I also forgot to mention it, and other than posters, I do have metal posters too. And these are a good example, because here are some of the Scooby-Doo ones. This one is just the Scooby-Doo gang with the 50-year line. If I'm probably guessing, this probably came out during the 50-year line. We also have this one, which just has the gang here. And you can kind of see, like, in the background, you see there's, like, a bunch of villains and stuff. Mostly from Mystery Incorporated, because the whole poster says Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Although, you do get the Green Ghost, and I assume, look, you can see that's the zombie. But all of the villains here are from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. And I do have these two ones over here with the Roro sign. You can see it says Scooby-Doo Classic. You have the Mystery Machine. And I do have some magnets I put on here. This one is the Scooby-Doo and tie-dye shirt. Here's the one that looks like the Mystery Machine. And I also have this one right here, which says Munchies Run, which is actually another poster I have over here. This is actually a poster that's based on this magnet here, and it also says Munchies Run. The only difference is that there's a ghost here that says Mellow Out Man. Compared to the magnet, it doesn't say that. Although, the one thing I do want to talk about is the fact that the green bumper here doesn't have a flower. And same goes to the magnet. It's kind of odd how the fact that they didn't add the magnet it's kind of odd they didn't add the orange flower, because if you guys do have like any Mystery Machine merch, you kind of see it, but there's an orange flower, and it's kind of odd that both the magnet and the poster doesn't have the orange flower where the green circle is. It's just a little odd for the fact that they added, like, the flowers on side of the van here, but never the one up front. But yeah, Iron No, I kind of also added this, but there is another thing I do want to show you that is also kind of a thing I do have. I'm going to set it up real quick, but there is some other stuff I do collect. Here, let me show you. But yeah, the other thing I do collect other than merchandise is... So, the only thing I do collect other than posters, Hot Wheels, and Happy Meal toys, I do have merchandise, and I do have, behind me is some of my favorite items that I did collect over the years of collecting. Well, technically, I don't know how long I've been collecting, but I do have some favorite stuff in here. I do have some favorite Scooby-Doo stuff. There is another Toad that does have favorite stuff. You see that long one right there? Right there. That also has favorite stuff. But yeah, these are all of the stuff that personally I consider my favorite items. Some of them you might have seen before, like online and stuff. But this is some few stuff I can give you guys some quick... I'll give you guys kind of a quick video. Okay? I kind of do show you guys... Well, I kind of show you these in videos. Usually by posts or videos. But I'll show you what I have here. I'll just show you here real quick. So the first thing I got is this. This is supposed to be a Scooby-Doo Spanish Bingo. But yeah, this is the Spanish Bingo. That's what this is. So we got Spanish Bingo here. We got possibly my favorite Grail item, the Scooby-Doo Encyclopedia. This is 100% a must-have for any collector. If you guys like Scooby-Doo and you like reading, get this encyclopedia because it's good. We also have this. These are actually recently, this came out last year. We got the Scooby-Doo Mystery Vinyl Blind Bags, which if you guys don't know this, I've been trying to find, like, I have Space Kook, Shaggy, and Scooby. Over here, like you see in that dark corner over here, those are the popsicles. We got the Ghost Clown and the Ghost of Captain Color, even my custom one. And I know a lot of people are a little wary of. They did drop something for these popsicles. Well, they're kind of like for your phone. They're called like those phone muggers or something, or phone huggers. Supposedly, you get blind bags of these popsicles that are very small. I seen them online recently, but they're not really that expensive. They're like $5 each. But yeah, we also got is a sticker book. We also got a card game. We have Scooby-Doo Went Wild, which I do have 2 other products here. I got the bag here. And probably out of the bunch, I like the Ruh-Roh lipstick. Not lipstick, nail polish. We also got possibly one of my favorite puzzles. We got the 1,000 piece puzzle. This puzzle is actually pretty good because if you look around here, you can see this has almost all of the villains from Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, where are you? The only exception is we do get the Creepy Keeper, Sea Demon, and the Horseman. We also do have the Shibuki right here, which, if you guys aren't wary of, if you do... Now, this actually ties in to this other game I have. It's the Munchkin Scooby-Doo game. In this game, you kind of do get the Munchkin as one of the characters. And yes, that is actually not the Munchkin, Shibuki. That's actually the name of the game. But yeah, in the game, they do call this creature right here the Kabuki. But yeah, there is also another thing I do have in here. We do have the card game here. I do have a photo of what they look like. So basically in here, you have every single villain card. If you guys want to know what they all look like, here, let me get it out real quick. I'm holding this by one hand, by the way, so it's a little hard. But yeah, so inside it has some of the more iconic villains. Like, right here, yeah, these are all of the cards that you can get. You do get, like, Creepy Keeper. You see Mr. Hyde's name. You can kind of see there's the Snow Ghost. It's actually not bad of a card game. It kind of does have some of Scooby-Doo's most infamous villains. If I had any of the other card games, yeah, so right here, like, you can kind of see, like, you can see there's Mysterious Strainer, you can have the Creeper, Frankenstein, Ghost Clown, the Fireland Robot, Sea Demon, and the Ghost of Redbeard. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. You do get you do get the same characters into 3 stacks, because supposedly you can get the stacks of cards either in orange, light green, and a bluish green. As for the villains are the same. But yeah, supposedly it's kind of like a matching game, which is actually this card pack right here. In this card pack, it's kind of like a matching game where you're supposed to match up the villains. Because when you open the card packs up, you do get 2 of the same thing. Like, you can get 2 clues or 2 pizzas. And supposedly, I think this is sort of like a matching game. You do get the gang and some villains. If you guys want to see what they look like, let me show you real quick. But yeah, these are some of the items these are some of the matching cards. So, like, these are what you can get in this card pack here. Yeah, so I think this is kind of like a memory game almost, because you do have 2 of the same cards. And if you guys are wondering, you do get the Mystery Machine, Shaggy, Velma, Scooby Snacks, a sandwich, a magnifying glass. I assume this is part of it, like a Ruh-Roh sign. You do get Daphne, Scooby, Fred. You do get pizza and a clue. Here's some of the villains. You got Ghosts of Captain Color, the Black Knight, the Creeper, Green Ghost, Funland Robot, Ghost Clown, and the Zeb Witch. Pretty much, I think this card game is kind of resemblance of memory. Yeah, this is basically memory, because you have to pair each card. And yeah, that's also another thing with these cards. They do come in a pair, so I think you're supposed to pair these up, and whoever probably gets the most pairs win. But all in all, this is pretty much a good card game. I will probably show you, here, let me show you the other ones too, so let me clean this up real quick. But yeah, these are the Scooby-Doo card games. Yeah, so basically with each of these cards, you do get the colors with orange, light green, and bluish green. And if you guys are wondering about the villains, here's all of the villain cards that you can get. I think it's supposedly with the games. Here, let me show you something real quick. And yes, I am videotaping this right now. But yeah, this is how the card game works, is supposedly, you're supposed to, I think the whole point of this is you're supposed to get each of the character, like, you do get multiple of the cards here, like, it shows you, like, you're supposed to have, like, the green and blue out, and supposedly, it's a 2-player game, supposedly, with this game, you're supposed to guess the character you have, like, you have to guess, like, what villain that you have. And just to prove it to you, like, if my character was the Ghost of Kingston, and you're supposed to guess your other opponent, like, if your character was the zombie, or you're supposed to guess it by color, like, what villain is green, like, what character is green, or wearing green. It's like that's supposed to be. And if you're wondering, these are the villains that you do get in the card game. You got Headless Horseman, Sea Demon, the Green Ghost, the Snow Ghost, the Puppet Master, aka the Mysterious Strainer, Creepy Keeper, the Creeper, Frankenstein's Monster, the Wolfman, Funland Robot, Mummy, I assume this is Mummy of Anka, the Ghost of Captain Color, the Wax Phantom, the Zeb Witch, the Ghost of Mr. Hyde, the Ghost Clown, the Ghost of Kingston, Eliza Kingston, Dracula, Zombie, and the Ghost of Redbeard. It's kind of odd how the fact that they don't put Space Kook on here. The one character I'm a little offensive over is the fact that we don't get Space Kook in this whole thing. Because if they're doing 20 of Scooby-Doo's most infamous villains, I think they could have substituted the Wax Phantom with Kook. Because I do think Spooky Space Kook's my favorite villain. And I also do want to point out the fact, I don't know if you can kind of see it, but that little silhouette right here, that's the Kook. I wish they could have put the Space Kook in here. I do know he's in this, the Spanish Bingo and this Munchkin game. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So basically with this game is, you're supposed to guess each of the character, like, you're supposed to guess your character, and your opponent's character, and that's it. But all in all, personally, I think you could have substituted one of these villains with Space Kook. But preferably, I pick Wax Phantom. But if you like the Wax Phantom, that's good. But I just think Space Kook should have been in this game. If they're counting Scooby-Doo's most infamous villains, I see Space Kook being in here. Yeah, as for the stickers here, you do get, here's the stickers, by the way. I am showing you guys the stickers here. You do get Dracula, Ghost, Green Ghost, Zombie, Creeper, and the Space Kook. Yeah, basically inside here, you do get stickers, a lot of the villains and stuff. It's actually pretty good. You do get some glow-in-the-dark stickers in here. This is also a pretty good thing. You also do get, here is the other item I do like. Here is a notebook. I do have another Scooby-Doo notebook as well. It's this one. Yeah, this is the notebook that I'm using. It does have like a sandwich. Here, let me show you something because there is actual vital information here. But yeah, supposedly with this is you do get a sandwich for Shaggy. You do get a sandwich for Shaggy. There is an SD tag for Scooby-Doo. The magnifying glasses for Velma. There is an orange flower for Daphne. And the mystery machine for Fred. Yeah, so it's a lot different from this. I didn't want to show you anything in here because these do have vital information. And I'm using this. If you guys are wondering, behind here it just shows the gang being scared. Which is not really that surprising because you do get images of the gang being scared. But it is also kind of the same thing again up front. But yeah, with this one, it just shows the image of the mystery machine. It does show the image of the gang in the mystery machine. And behind here, you have like the Relp and like WoW with the gang and with the Scooby Gang being in back here. If you're wondering, this was about $17 on Cracker. If you guys are wondering, I got this at Cracker Barrel. I don't know if it's still available, but I think I got this like recently. But if you guys are wondering what's inside, it's kind of the same thing with the notebook here where it has like these little dividers here. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, the Shaggy is Sandwich, the SD tag is Scooby, the magnifying glass is Velma, that's an orange flower for Daphne, and the mystery machine is for Fred. But inside here, it just shows the gang. It just shows like, yeah, so right here you have like Scooby-Doo, you have a Scooby-Doo logo, him being scared. Yeah, this is what I really liked about the notebook is the fact, or journal, you do get some interesting stuff here later. Let me show you what the full page look like. Yeah, this is the full page of what the notebook looked like. You have the gang and the mystery. You have the gang right here. You have some villains. You got Wolfman, Ghost Clown, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Space Kook, Ghost Captain Color, Creeper, Creepy Keeper, Sea Demon, and the Black Knight. Oh, and the Horsemen. But yeah, basically, that's basically the whole card is. You do get Scooby Snack, some ghosts. I do like the little ghosts in the bottom here. I think the coolest thing is, and if you guys are wondering, they do have the rest of the gang. You do get Fred here with a bunch of ghosts. Here's Velma, which surprisingly is not scared. Although Fred and Scooby are scared, Velma's not. We also got Shaggy. Here's Shaggy. You can see with Shaggy, you guys look, name here, you have a bunch of eyes. And here is Daphne. Here is Daphne. You do get a ghost and some skulls here. I don't know, I didn't make a post about this or not, but these skulls here look like skulls of Space Kook here. Like, just in comparison, that's Space Kook and those are the skulls. They kind of look the same. But at the end, you do get the mystery machine, which is just really just the gang being scared. You don't get, like, the image of the car. Well, you do up here, but never, like, the image here. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the journal. I think this journal's pretty good. I do like the villains here. I do think those look nice with, like, the villains behind here. I think it looks nice. I don't know how many pages are in here because they don't label, like, pages, like, 1 to, like, how many. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want me to do more of a deep dive to all of this merchandise here, as well as the toad down there below, if this is a bit of a suggestion, but if you guys want me to take a look at all of my merchandise that I have, let me know in the comments and I'll do like a full-blown video. Because I think it'd be cool to not only show you some of my favorite merchandise here, but also this stuff here. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the question. I know it's a whole biggie thing. I know it's a whole big thing here, but I don't know, because this is a pretty good question, because you now know I like collecting posters, plushies, merchandise, as well as Hot Wheels and Happy Meal toys. I don't know, I could also count vinyl figures in here as well, but I don't know if you can count some, I don't know if it just counts as vinyl figures, but yeah, that is pretty much it for all the merchandise. Do I think the notebook looks nice? Not really. I do think the journal here is more better, but it is a lot different from the notebook here. But yeah, that is it for the question. Thank you so much for the commented question, and I'll see you guys when I do the next question real quick. Oh yeah, I also gotta mention something over here. And there's the booklet. I gotta put that back. But yeah, the other thing I do forgot to show you guys this is another Scooby-Doo item here. It is also another puzzle. But yeah, this is actually a puzzle here that supposedly has the gang on the tin here. And if you guys are wondering if you open it up, you do get this. It is actually a puzzle here. This whole thing's a puzzle here. You do also get a poster here. Supposedly, when you get this mystery tin, like this plastic tin here, you do get a poster here. This is the poster, what it looks like. But yeah, I don't know how many pieces are in this puzzle, but supposedly inside here, you do get, like, this is the tin it comes with. Yeah, I kind of forgot to mention this while I did show you guys this puzzle. This is the puzzle, says 1,000 pieces. I don't know how much this piece is over here. But yeah, this is a pretty good tin here. I personally like this puzzle. If you guys are interested, you guys need to go get this puzzle with tin here. I say this is pretty good. But yeah, I also gotta mention this is also one of my other favorite merchandise. I do like the poster here as well as the puzzle, but I do think the tin here looks pretty nice. I mean, you can just take the puzzle and you just use the tin. That's what I prefer. But yeah, I kind of forgot to mention that. So, I think it's about time we go back and solve. I think it's about time I show you guys the rest of the clues. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty right now, but. Okay, so that is it for the merchandise, as well. That's done for the first question. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, all this stuff here are my favorite items. Again, if you want me to just do like a huge deep dive into my other merchandise that I do like, I will do that as part of a video. I'll do that for a video if you guys want me to do that. Because I am planning on buying some new stuff. But if you guys want me to just take a look at all the merchandise that I have, let me know and I'll do that. But I think it's time we get into question number 2. Yeah, I'm a little sweaty right now. I might just take my hat off. But yeah, so thank you, Sheen, for that question. So next one is Randy World Time 9. Let me just restate that. This is Randy's World times 9. And supposedly his question says, favorite Scooby-Doo crossover that could be seen on the internet. I don't know, to be frankly, the only Scooby-Doo crossover that my favorite Scooby-Doo crossover, I might give it up to Scooby-Doo Straight Out of Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I might even give it to Bravo Scooby-Doo, even though it's not technically a Scooby-Doo crossover. It's more of like a Johnny Bravo crossover, but supposedly, I do think Straight Out of Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog is a good crossover. Because it does cross over to an old Cartoon Network show. Same with Bravo Dooby-Doo. Bravo Dooby-Doo is a good crossover. It does have a good song. If you guys are wondering what it's called Happy Haunted Sunshine House. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch the video on YouTube. Like, you can watch the music video. But yeah, I personally think it'd be kind of nice to listen to that song on Spotify. If you guys don't know this, I listen to Spotify. I think that song would be nice to listen to. And I do think Straight Out of Nowhere Scooby-Doo is kind of a good memorial to the voice actress, Muriel. If you guys ever seen that movie, the voice actor of Muriel did pass away before that movie came out. And I think that's kind of a memorial to her. So, like, you hear her voice a lot last time for that crossover. But I still think that movie is a pretty good crossover with Straight Out of Nowhere meets Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog, as well as Bravo Doo-Doo. And hopefully we do get crossovers like those in the future where Scooby-Doo meets like old Cartoon Network show characters, like the cast of old Cartoon Network characters, because I think that would be kind of nice. It kind of goes the same thing with Scooby-Doo in the Scooby-Doo Team Up, where they'll cross over with other properties. If you collect those comic series, they'll have that. But yeah, that is it for the question. Yeah, so I think it's time we move on to our third question. Yes, there is a third question. Thank you, Randy, for that question. So, the next question I have is, well, this might surprise you, we got some from my friend, the media guy, which, thank you for the question. It says here, out of all your toys, which is your favorite set? Which set is your favorite and why? And let me just rephrase that. Out of all the toys that you have, which set is your favorite and why? Now, this is actually kind of an odd question, but I will give it to you. I'll give you my answer. I don't know, I count my villain figures a set. I mean, it's more of like a collection of other brands. But if I was picking a favorite set, I'll probably pick the Friends and Foes Deluxe. And if you guys are wondering about, like, the villains that he comes with here, let me show you something real quick. So yeah, so I have my villain figures here. So if you guys are wondering about the villains that come with the set, you do get the Green Ghost here. You can kind of see it, but here's are the Giggling Green Ghost. You do get here's the other one, the Ghost of Elijah Kingston. You do get the other villain here, and it's possibly one of my favorites, and the only figure so far. I'm gonna try to get it real quick here. I don't know. Let me just. Oh, wait. Yep, I got it. Sorry, I had to rearrange some stuff in here. But yeah, the other villain I have is the Space Kook. But yeah, Space Kook, the Ghost of Kingston, and the Green Ghost are part of the set there. You do get the gang. I did show you guys the gang while I did the episodes. But supposedly right here, I don't know if you guys see it right there, but that is supposed to be the mansion, as well as the Mystery Machine. The Mystery Machine is right next to it, but that in the mansion goes with the set, as well as the 4 villains. Although, to be frankly, I wish the set had more characters. I mean, we could have gotten new villain figures. We could have gotten, like, Funland Robot. We could have gotten the Funland Robot. They could have did the Horseman, the Mummy. I mean, I wish we could have gotten characters that we could have gotten before as figures, but this is a good example. I also forgot to mention this, but Medcos was at San Diego Comic-Con last year. Not last year, this year, and they did have the deluxe set on display. Mostly just the Mystery Machine and the characters that you can get. I do know now that playset goes about like $200, but when I got it, it was $180. But yeah, and if you guys are wary of, Jada Toys does have the license for Scooby-Doo. And you do get the spooky Space Kook here. If they didn't make the Space Kook, this must have been the only Space Kook figure that you could have gotten. But you could also gotten the Ghost of Kingston or the Green Ghost. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't consider my villain figures a set. But if I did pick out a set, it would be that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I mean, most of the other ones are just like waves of figures, but I don't know. But I'll probably give it to the Medcos Deluxe set as my favorite thing. But yeah, thank you so much for the question. There is other questions here. But let me... Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to eat dinner real quick. But, okay. I think I solved one of you guys' questions. So, I assume we're still on him. Yeah, sorry about the break, everyone. I ate real quick. So, here's the other questions here. Are you planning on doing any kind of stop motion with your toys? Well, I could do that, but I just want to quickly address that the figures that I have are official, so these are officially licensed. And I feel like if I did like a stop motion or something, I would probably get copyrighted if something does happen. But if I did, I would probably do a stop motion. I mean, I just had to. I don't know, but I don't know. I could do a stop motion if I wanted to, but I don't know. I could, but I just don't want to get the risk of copywriting. So, as your last question asked me, should there be a Scooby-Doo / Hanna-Barbera Funko Pop movie or a TV show someday? Now, there is something that you don't know about there's something that you don't know about this media guy, but there was a Funko game that was made. I don't know if y'all don't know what this. It's called Funko Fusion. It was like a Funko Pop of a video game where like I don't know about I don't have any video footage for you, but supposedly you play as your favorite Funko Pop, and there wasn't no really Hanna-Barbera theme one, but there was like a Funko Fusion video game. I don't know if you guys don't know that, but there was a Funko game of Funko Fusion. I've seen people playing it. It didn't have a Scooby-Doo level, but that was probably the closest thing. But yes, I would like to see a show or a movie with the Funko Pops in it. Because with Funko's new CEO, hopefully we do see anything new. I've been seeing some newer stuff from Funko I've seen new Funko Pops. Not the Funko Pops I'm going after, but there is a new Scooby-Doo Pop. I might be going after him in the vase. But I think it's okay, so I think that's it for his questions. Oh wait, I think we have one more. Okay, the next question is from, I don't know how to pronounce your username, but XIXOR788 says, well, he gave me 3 questions. First question is favorite Scooby-Doo specials. I don't know, I think my favorite Scooby-Doo special has to be, I think from What's New Scooby-Doo. I don't know if there's like any other specials, but I'll probably pick What's New Scooby-Doo a Halloween or even a Christmas. I think the What's New Scooby-Doo Christmas or Halloween special is probably my favorite. But I'll probably pick it's probably the Christmas one since it is kind of it's like a kind of a parody to the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Not the Valentine's Day one, because the Valentine's Day one is probably one of the worst out of the 3. What's New Scooby-Doo series. If you want more of a deep dive on that, basically in the episode, clearly the villains were probably a little ridiculous in my opinion. Because in the episode there was the evil version of the gang, and I think the dude's plan was to get back at Shaggy. I think it was that, I don't know, it was like Popstar who was seeing Shaggy. It was the Popstar that was dating Shaggy's ex-girlfriend. Clearly she keeps mentioning his name, so he thought if he forgets about him, he will. If you guys don't know this, you should watch Scooby-Doo Valentine's on what is in the series What's New Scooby-Doo. But personally, I think that one's probably the least favorite in my bunch. Favorite Scooby-Doo. So the next question is favorite Scooby-Doo guest star. Now this one actually has a bit of a story to it because there is some things I do want to show you, but it is my favorite Scooby-Doo guest star. I think it'd be since he specificated what series, but I picked from Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, A Haunt of a Thousand Voices, with the cast of the Scooby-Doo gang's voice actors like Frank Welker, Kate Micucci, Grady L, and Matthew Lillard. I think that is my favorite. I think that is my favorite Scooby-Doo guest star. It's just their voice actors. And funny enough, I actually met 2 of the voice actors. I can show you that real quick. But yeah, if you guys here, let me show you something real quick. So here, let me show you something. So, you guys don't know this, I went to Steel City Con last year. I actually met Frank Welker, who was Scooby and Fred's voice actor. I actually got a Funko Pop that was signed by him. And this is the one he signed. It is the 2023 SummerCon exclusive Scooby-Doo and Scuba Soon. Sorry, but yeah, this is an older Funko Pop. This came out in 2023. It still has the same packaging as for the 50-year line. But yeah, if you're wondering, this was signed by Frank Welker. I do have I will show you the photos real quick because I did get photo ops with both of them. The other one I got signed was from Matthew Lillard. This is the one he signed. This was a Shaggy Pop, specifically from the 50-year line. But yeah, this was pretty good too. The first time I ever been to Steel City Con was because of Matthew Lillard. And then last year I met Frank Welker. I have photos of them as well here. Here's a photo. So, let me just. Sorry, my bookshelf here is a little mess. But this is the photo of me with Frank Welker. If you're wondering, I was wearing a Scooby-Doo costume. If you guys don't know this, I got a Scooby-Doo costume. But this was the photo of me with Frank Welker. And this one was with me with not Frank Welker, Matthew Lillard. But yeah, the first time I've been to Steel City Con was to meet him. It was pretty cool meeting both of them. I'll be very surprised to see who I'll meet next. It'd probably be the voice actress of Daphne and Thelma, and that's probably it. But still, it was pretty cool meeting Frank Welker and Matthew Lillard. And I personally think out of the episode 100,000 Voices, it's actually a pretty good episode. It does have villain cameos of Redbeard's ghost, Charlie the Robot, the Ghost of Captain Color, and the Creeper. If you guys don't know what that episode is, go watch it. I don't know if it's on, I know there's a complete set of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who DVDs. I don't know if it's on there or not, but you guys need to watch the episode. I think it's a pretty good one. And I know this is not the first time cartoon characters met their voice actor. I don't know if someone made a short on it or not. I remember someone making a short on it, but I think it was Teen Titans Go that made an episode where the cartoon characters met their voice actor. But I think that's it. It was I think it was that episode. But yeah, I personally think it's pretty good that I finally got to the Funko Pop sign. And don't worry, I do have both pops of this and the Scooby. I could have also gotten a pop sign. I could have gotten a Fred Pop too. But I decided just to do Shaggy and Scooby. Even though this is not the OG Scooby-Doo pop, even though I would like to try to get it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, the other question I have is favorite Scooby-Doo side characters. Yeah, I don't usually pay attention to the side characters, but I personally think Scooby-Dum is a good idea. I know people don't like me saying this, but I think Scrappy-Doo is okay. I mean, I think because Scrappy-Doo is also a pretty good side character. It's kind of odd how the fact there was less episodes with Scooby-Dum, except where Scrappy-Doo had a big variety of episodes. But I think, from what I heard from other YouTubers, they did say that Scooby-Dum was hated. But I feel like they could revisit him someday, in a future episode or even a movie where he just has a cameo or even him being in an actual movie or a TV show. But yeah, that's what I personally think. Scooby-Dum and Scrappy-Doo are probably my two favorite side characters. But yeah, thank you so much for the questions. So I think that's it for YouTube questions. So unfortunately, we have one Facebook question left, and that's pretty much it for the video. So if you're watching this on Facebook, I don't know if we'll put this video on Facebook or not, but I think this is the last question. Someone did reach out. Someone reach out to on Facebook about joining the Q&A video, but I didn't get a response back from them. But this is the last question. But let me put away some viewer stuff real quick, and then we'll get on to the last question. Okay, guys, here is the final question. So this question is from Angel the Chaos Queen. She said, what is your favorite figure you've ever gotten and why? So this one, I decided to do I thought they'd do this question a little simple, but I decided to put it to 3 favorite figures. But I'll explain why. So for the top 3, so number 3, I'm giving it to the player from the Poppy Playtime line. I feel like this is a good figure, But in terms of, but I feel like it's like I know it's a good figure, but I personally think it'd be cool if like this is a good figure to customize with, especially with the grab pack hand. Because if you guys ever play Poppy Playtime, like the full 5 chapters, you can see in the game the player does have like a different variety of gloves. I say this would be a good idea to customize. Like paint one of the gloves green, make the red hand the Omni hand. I think this would be nice to do customization. Also, you could also customize this character like you would in Project Playtime. Also, I did find out Project Playtime is officially dead. So, rest in peace, Project Playtime. But yeah, in the game, you would have designed your character. But I see this being good customization for if you guys are planning on buying this figure. I don't know if it's still available, but it is from Fatmojo. Even though it doesn't have that much articulation, although I wish there was articulation in the legs, but I do see this guy being good for customization. So the next figure I got is the character taking number 2 would be Sammy Lawrence here, specifically the older one. I do think the figure is a good quality figure. He does have articulation in the arms. He does have articulation in the arms and legs here. But I think what really counts of this figure being pretty cool is the accessories that he comes with. If you guys are wondering, it comes with a bendy cutout and an axe. And they did release the figure again with just legs. This is what it looks like. I did paint these on myself. But yeah, supposedly this is the updated version of Sammy. It is similar. It is kind of the same thing with these figures. The only difference is the fact that this doesn't have legs. This one doesn't. I assume this guy is Beta Sammy because from the looks of it, because this is what Sammy looks like now. If you're also wondering, Jakks Pacific did make another Sammy figure. Here, let me show you him real quick. This version of Sammy was from Benny and the Dark Revival. This is what he looked like. You can see that he looked a lot different. This one was based on Dark Revival's version of Sammy. And if you're wondering about his accessory, he did have a, where is it? It's, let me show you here real quick. It's a banjo. He got yeah, he only had like one accessory, and it's a banjo. Like, this is his accessory. It was a banjo. And he also had a background, which was called the Cycle Breakers. As a matter of fact, here's his packaging, too. Yeah, see, look, this was the packaging of Sammy Lawrence here. It came with a banjo and a background that says Cycle Breakers. But yeah, I think Jakks Pacific did a good job on the figure. I'm just hoping that I could try to replace the bendy figure as possible. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that thing. But personally, I think Sammy Lawrence is a good figure to get, especially if you go after the Fatmojo version of him, because I do think his accessories are pretty good. Also, if you are interested in the Dark Revival version of Sammy, you can also get him as well. But yeah, so I think it's about time I show you my number 1 favorite villain, and you probably guess who it is. Number 1 is Spooky Space Kook and Frankenstein's Monster. And if you're wondering, yes, there is figures. So I think it's first we show you Frankenstein's Monster. So these are both Frankenstein's Monster. We got this one from Figure Toy Company and this one from Character. If you're wondering which one do I like more, I think it's this guy because you do get more articulation. This guy is okay, but this was the OG Frankenstein that I got in my collection. But when I upgrade everything, I'd kind of like this version of him better. And if you're wondering why he's wearing dark blue instead of this one was more into merchandise, where this one was like what he originally looked like. It was more like a color change in clothes, and that was it. As for Spooky Space Kook, we only got one of his figures. I didn't mention this in the video, but here is the Metco's version of Spooky Space Kook. There is another Space Kook figure, and it's the one I did pre-order, and it was Jada Toys' version. If you think, so if I was picking between Metco's or Jada Toys, I'll probably pick Jada Toys better because he has two alternate heads. And supposedly he'll have the same head as Space Kook here from the Metcos line. But personally, I think Space Kook deserve more figures. But if J-Toys never did make the Space Kook figure, he will probably, I think this guy would have been the only one to get. Even though you will get him with the rest of with the Green Ghost, the Ghost of Kingston, and like the Mansion, the Mystery Machine, and the gang. But I'd be very surprised J-Toys did make the Space Kook, because the Space Kook is a good villain. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for the questions. I know the video took a very long time, but I ate dinner between the videos, so and also I was extremely hot. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the question. If you guys want me to do a video on the merchandise, let me know in the comments. Also, if you guys just want me to answer any other questions that I didn't miss, but if you guys are interested in answering me any questions, I could do like little mini videos and I can just show you some stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Oh wait, I also got one more thing. Thank you guys so much for 100 episodes. Again, thank you.